Welcome to Travel Market Life, your companion for industry insights and professional business development. Travel Market Life. Join us by webcast, video or podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Travel Market Life. As part of our media partnership with Ace Hotel Tech Summit, we are hosting a series of conversations with the presenters. Today it's Harry Fielder, Chairman of Hotel Marketing Association and CEO of Umi Digital, where he'll be talking about digital marketing and marketing strategies. In our conversation today, we're going to be looking at the Hotel Marketing Association, trends in direct bookings, the basics hotels should be considering, how hoteliers can capitalize further on direct bookings, and the approaches to social media.
Travel Market Life.
So on the line now is Harry Fielder, Chairman of Hotel Marketing Association. Harry, thanks ever so much for joining us. First, let's just dive straight in. What is the Hotel Marketing Association?
Good question. The Hotel Marketing Association has actually been around for over about 30 years. It is a professional body that is, the whole purpose is to champion best practice in hotel marketing, to elevate the industry in terms of skill set and sort of be there as a kind of almost mentors and senior figures in hotel marketing for everyone to kind of come around and just create an amazing community around hotel marketing, really. Because it's so many unique skill sets within that field. And we really, champion it as a profession, not just a kind of a side part of the wider hotel team.
I mean, it has massively diversified in recent years with all the different systems and platforms and social and digital and all sorts, as well as you say, I've certainly come from a background as marketing, as you know, and more often than not, it's the administrators that are dumped with the tasks of marketing, but it goes far deeper than that. Why should hotels be a part of the Hotel Marketing Association then?
So, we have a great calendar of events coming up. We have our awards every year. And we've got, so we've recently partnered with Hosper, obviously another large hospitality professional body. And so we now actually have more resources, more reach, and some more, creative ideas to bring to the industry. So it's a really exciting time. Best way to kind of follow along and be part of it is to go to the Hotel Marketing Association website and just drop your email address down in there. We are kind of slightly reshaping what membership looks like with various different tiers, various different approaches to membership. But the best thing to do right now is just drop your details in there. You'll start receiving all of the insights and news and everything from the association. And as our membership becomes a little bit more refined with regard to those things I was mentioning, then obviously we can work out the best way to be involved for you.
I mean, the wonderful thing is that you have that partnership with Hosper, as you just mentioned, and I believe that you're going to be doing something in conjunction at Hospace in November, so people can learn a little bit more in person.
We are indeed, yes. There's so I think generally revenue management, which is kind of the backbone of Hospace really, and marketing are just coming ever closer together really. And marketing can't really excel without a good understanding of revenue and vice versa really. So I think over the years, the Hospace conference has started to really blend into marketing. And you look at a lot of the topics last year at Hospace, so many of them it's effectively a marketing conference with a revenue management wrapper on it really. So that, yeah, there's so many good overlaps.
So looking at the trends in direct bookings, what are you seeing at the moment over the last couple of years?
Yeah, so we've, in terms of the confidence to invest in that direct strategy, I would say it's higher now than it was pre-COVID. We're seeing much higher budgets being put into things like Google Ads and traffic acquisition. Last year, interestingly, direct bookings actually went over 50% for the first time in many years, like probably around 10 years or so. So actually, while the online travel agents still represent an incredibly important source of bookings, the direct channel is, it's still a very viable option. And as we crossed over that 50% threshold, a lot of hotel marketers like us kind of got quite excited because you kind of see the fruits of the labor really. With regard to the way traffic is kind of acquired into that direct funnel, we're seeing 30% of all journeys actually start from Google Maps. You know, if we've saw more than 50% of all searches on Google as 0-click, so people never actually leave the Google platform. We're seeing, you know, the organic reach of social media continue to drop and drop and drop. If you're just treating social as that kind of one-way communication method rather than going down the paid or engagement route. So yeah, there's a lot of things changing. I think another exciting area is packaging. So marketers working really closely with revenue to start creating cool packages, because if you look at what the online travel agents are doing, you know, they are investing so much in bringing all of the different travel verticals together: flights, tours, experiences. You know, you look at Airbnb experiences and stuff like that. So, and so I think the direct channel has a huge part to. I think that's a really the ability for you to be creative with your packaging and how you sell is actually your secret weapon, because you'll never be able to do it as detailed and as curated as the online travel agents can, because they have to do stuff at scale, and they're not going to be able to leverage local partnerships, local produce, and all that kind of thing, that kind of local affiliate network that you might have. And I think that's, while packaging is big, is kind of this big push, that I think is a secret weapon for the direct, for that independent or the, you know, a small group to kind of really drive that direct channel.
It's certainly what we're seeing as we sort of move towards that mindset of e-commerce and how you can bring in the different services and break down the different amenities and products that you have within the hotel. But we don't want to see it as, you know, a big, huge mountain that you've got to scale. There are some easy, quick wins. And what I absolutely loved about the trends you just mentioned was this whole point of Google Maps, because I'm one of them. I'm a victim of looking for hotels on Google, because I know exactly where I'm going. I want to find the hotels in and around that area. I don't want to be siphoning through a booking.com or Expedia. I want to go direct if I possibly can do. And as we know now, you go to Google and you see the prices from all the OTAs as well as direct, and you can see in general that there's very little difference in that pricing. So what are the basics?
Which is now free. You know, you can list your prices for free as long as you've got an integration with Google Hotel Ads. Your price listing there is free.
Wow, amazing! That's fantastic.
Which is great.
So it sounds like, you know, it's a Google business. It's really easy to set up. But what are the basics that hotels should be doing in and around direct bookings and marketing?
Good question. Just quickly on that Google My Business piece, you can actually push offers and blog posts and all these sorts of things through your Google My Business profile, but not many people do. So
no, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's cunning. You know, the things that speed at which you respond to reviews, pushing offers, pushing blog posts, pushing events, all through your business profile. Given the fact that over 30% of people discover hospitality through maps, is, you know, that's a really good quick win. Doesn't require any.
Ditch my question that I was asking just now, by the way, because actually Google reviews, I know, forget that question. Google reviews is actually incredibly powerful. And that's one of the first areas that even I look today, rather than go to TripAdvisor or all the other review platforms. So it's incredible how powerful that single access point to the internet has become.
Absolutely. And, you know, back to that 0-click thing, more than 50% of journeys in the Google space never leave Google. So you think of it as a tool to distribute traffic, but they're holding on to more traffic than they distribute, which is kind of a weird one to think about as a search engine. So yeah, I mean, Google, if you can respond to them well, also increasing your reviews over time. You don't have to just sit back and be at the mercy of your reviewers. You can take proactive measures using tools like Review Filter, for example, where every person that checks out sends them an email. They can fill out a survey. If it's a positive response, at the click of a button, it can publish it to review platforms. If it's a negative response, it goes directly to the reservations team or the customer support team or whatever to handle it offline. So you're still getting everyone's feedback, but you can kind of engineer positivity on through those channels.
We've got a right to reply, and that's a great thing. If it is negative, you know, you do want to see that reply that's come from the hotel, and I really appreciate and respect
100%.
anybody that is actually responding to those negative reviews and how well they respond to them as well. And, you know, especially if it's a, 4.5, 4.8 rating and it's like a 1-star review, you're thinking, oh, that person didn't have a great time. But perhaps it was down to the mood of the actual individual at the time, or it was a real off day for the hotel. We know that happens. And I think it's that authenticity half the time, particularly if you're an independent hotel, is just being upfront and honest, isn't it? And just saying, okay, we got this wrong, or, oh, I'm sorry you didn't have the experience that the rest of our guests tend to have, and look at a resolution to compensate that guest in some way. Now, I mean, the website is obviously the key as well. Once you land on the site, you want to have that great journey, but it's also making it bookable. Which is key, because I mean, I was booking something the other day. I mean, I don't like Premier Inn as an example. It's about 5 or 6 steps before you actually complete a booking, and now that is one of the key frictions when it comes to actually getting that direct booking, isn't it?
It is, and I think what we're seeing now as I guess the first, there's a big from a trend point of view, back to our trends question earlier. There is so much technology out there now that allows us to control a first party experience, because the whole industry, really the whole hotel tech stack is so third party. You go from your own website over to a separate booking engine, you have a separate channel manager, you have a separate team working on your ads, you put your data into a separate CRM, and it's so disjointed. It's incredibly disjointed. For example, just that booking journey, right? You have a website, and then you have a spa booking system, you have a table reservation engine, you have a room booking engine, and all of them are completely separate, right? And you've got kind of SaaS products like One Journey, which they're sort of starting to bring those revenue streams together, which is fantastic. But there's also things that you can do yourself. There's you can a lot of these property management systems, they have an API which allows you to just create bookings on your website. You can bring in table availability from the Res Diary API or the 7Rooms API. You can bring in flights now. There's a tool called Duffel, which is aggregating 45 different airlines into a bookable API that you can then plug into your own first party booking experience. Now, how far we get that's another question, and how much that's going to apply to a small independent, again, another question. But this drive towards this kind of controlling the first party experience and not having to rely so heavily on this third party disjointed tech stack, I think is another real trend that we're going to not necessarily see over the next 12 months, but certainly 5 years time. I think a lot of people are going to be really focused on that. If you see the progression in things like Google, they're working towards this cookieless world, and this first part, trying to really nail that first party tracking experience. Another interesting one.
Yeah, the more we can actually get hold of that data, understand who our guests are or our audience. I mean, I think the problem has always been, if you go back to 20 years ago and we're doing print advertising, you were just like, oh, just do an advert and it goes all in sundry. It was mass advertising and you were just hoping for the best. Whereas today, you should know who your most valuable guest is, what age they are, what gender they are booking, potentially, what size of group, how long they're booking for, what time of year they're booking, how far in advance they're booking. So you can do the actual marketing on the right channels, and you can do the packages like you said, or you can break up the services and products for them to be able to build their own products. And as you say, it's not about sitting there coding anymore, which is the beauty of it. The technology is there for you to basically just go in, and it's incredibly intuitive software for you to create your own packages, plus, copy paste, and away you go. And I guess, if someone yourself who comes from that background of web building, to see that simplicity that is now available for hoteliers, you must be seeing them, like you say, sort of try so many different new ways of approaching the market and actually being more creative with their marketing and direct bookings.
Yeah, I agree. I think the role of the hotel has become, so if you just look at maybe 5-10 years ago, we were spending a lot of our time changing content for a hotel, right? Well, can you change this picture? Can you change this page? And so pretty much so much of the creativity now or the execution of the marketing strategy is now actually with the marketing execs, the marketing managers in the hotel. Where I feel the role of an agency has shifted is that is to focus on connecting the dots. So, okay, well, how can we bring our data captured from our website into our CRM list that's also going to populate an advertising audience through Google Ads automatically, you know? And so that does go beyond the skill set of your normal like in-house hotel marketing. So the agency is kind of supporting more in not necessarily the traditional marketing ways, but it's connecting the dots and leading the tech part. Now, I think another 5 years time thing is I do think we need more technical expertise on the hotel side. I think you're going to start seeing CTOs of hotel groups. You large brands, you have them, but if you end up having a hotel that needs 10, 15 pieces of tech, and you've got the decisions being made by revenue, by marketing, by the GM, by operations, by everyone, all separately, completely separately, independently of each other, you still end up with all these data silos here, and here, and none of them talk to each other. And so I do think that we'll start seeing sort of technical oversight and this kind of almost like part-time CTO or some technical expertise at board level for that tech decision making.
Because it's been interesting conversations I've been having with some C-level executives about where they're actually placing their focus. And traditionally, it's been around the PMS and then having a data warehouse, but more so they're looking towards a CRM. And that being the center of the hotel, and that processing all the data from all their third-party systems in order for them to be able to actually own that data, which is the most important thing. Because the more you sort of you over rely on third parties, the more they end up owning that data or managing that data on behalf of you. Whereas if you can get it all in centrally, then hopefully that allows you to have that better, closer proximity with your guests, and then being able to crunch that data much more closely to understand how you can optimize the revenue and commercial opportunities throughout the hotel. So it's interesting how we are seeing that evolution in a way we're viewing that tech stack. And actually on that matter, Harry, and you're going to be joining Travel Market Life at the Independent Hotel Show as part of the social business space on the 17th of October to actually discuss the tech stack for the future for hotels. So we will be able to dive into deeper into that, won't we? Which would be great.
Absolutely.
Is there any particular sort of technology that you feel hotels need to really be thinking as a priority for themselves and being able to maximize direct bookings and marketing then?
So at a basic level, it comes down to is that booking journey seamless from website to booking engine? Are you discoverable for your brand? Are you protecting your brand by bidding on your own brand name? Because Booking.com will be bidding on it. So brand protection, easily push that person through to a coherent booking engine that ultimately offers equal or better value than an OTA. If that's going to be the vast majority of if you're going to do well or not, if it's kind of the basics, right? But in terms of technology, your question there, where would I be innovating or where would I be considering to set myself up for the future? I think it is in that data aggregation piece. And I also believe that starts from the PMS. And I think if you've got this kind of debate around what is the central source of truth, you were mentioning CRM there, CRM to pull in all of our customer data together. I'd say a lot of PMS companies would say the PMS is the central source of truth. So why don't we just build a CRM why shouldn't CRMs should just integrate with us and should push all the data to us? And so I think there's going to be this kind of slight battle between where the central source of truth is. Is it a separate data warehouse? So if there was any decision that I could start sort of encouraging people to make now, it's if I could put all of my bits of hotel tech on a piece of paper and draw lines between them, how many lines could I draw? Like in terms of data flowing between what? And there will be a lot of lines that you can't draw, but it's not to say that those lines don't exist. Or if you were to shop around a little bit from a connectivity perspective, that they might come together, because it's going to be the people that bring those data silos together that will ultimately succeed, because they'll have the ability to be far more personalized, far more relevant, and have a clearer understanding of their audience.
Excellent. Harry, thank you ever so much for that whistle-stop tour around the HMA and direct bookings and marketing. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Look forward to it as well.
So that was Harry Fielder, the chairman of Hotel Marketing Association and CEO of Umi Digital. As he mentioned, he will be at the Ace Hotel Tech Summit in September, the Independent Hotel Show in October, as well as Hospace in November. He'll be joining us on our panel at the Independent Hotel Show, Tech Stack for the Future. So look out for that event on LinkedIn. Thanks ever so much for listening to us today. You can find out more stories from hotels about how they're using data in our Hotelier's Voice series. I'm your host, Ryan Haynes. Ciao for now.
For more, go to Travel Market Life. The music sensation by Zach Nelson is reproduced under license from Storyblocks. Travel Market Life is a Haynes Marcoms digital marketing agency production, serving the travel and technology industries.